congratulations as we look at Olympian Gabe Jennings of Stanford, just a junior, and you never know what this guy is going to do. What an incredible talent he is. And it'll be interesting to see how he runs this race because he is coming back in the 800 as well.
Yeah, very good. There's a couple of other people to watch. Donald Sage of Stanford. He'll be wearing bib number 204. Brandon Strong of Arizona State. And California's John Collin as well. We're underway, and Jennings goes right to the lead.
4 Stanford runners in here, including Jonathan Riley, who is also going to be running the 5,000 meters. At last year's Pac-10, Gabe Jennings ran the 800, 1,500, and entered the 5,000, and was not a placer, and that made the difference between Stanford winning, or not winning, that is, the Pac-10 crown. He just wasn't able to come back after that tough a double.
Well, Jennings, in this case, opting to set the pace. He's got his teammates all around him right now. Alongside him, that's Jonathan Riley. Here are the Pac-10 and NCAA records. Pac-10 record not out of the question for Jennings, but as Dwight Stones mentioned, he's very likely to try to save a little something.
I think that he's running for points. Stanford's men's team very much in the hunt here for the team title. They know it. SC knows it. UCLA certainly knows it. As Jonathan Riley now takes over, he was also scheduled to run the 10,000 last night, decided to pass on that. They had a number of athletes in there. Riley now pushing the pace. Jennings right behind him. He'll be running the 5,000, as I mentioned, a little bit later. And
one of the Arizona State runners starting to move into the picture now, moving into second place. So it continues to be Riley on the pace.
Riley followed by Brandon Strong of Arizona State.
Brandon Strong of ASU is the man who has moved into second place now. So it is Riley, Brandon Strong, then Jennings. Back of Jennings, it is Donald Sage. And now coming up alongside to challenge is Ian Johnson of Washington State.
147 with 2 laps remaining, and this is pace has slowed a little bit. You can see the athletes bunching up, and you always have to look for problems because someone's going to try and get out of a box and maybe put a lead or put a gap on some of the runners in front of them, and they have a trouble getting out. They've got to slow down. They spike somebody. This is always problematic unless you see them start to stretch things out a bit.
Riley, Strong, Jennings, and Johnson in that order. Now starting to loom up a little bit is Philip Prince of Arizona State. He's running on the outside and has just passed Jennings, or come up on Jennings' shoulder, into fourth place.
It's about 2:05 at 800 meters, so Jennings trying to save as much energy as he possibly can, and Jonathan Riley helping him in that situation. But remember, Riley has to come back and run the 5,000 meters, so he can't be thrilled that he's out here pushing the pace in the 1,500, but they're doing what Coach Lanana feels they have to do in order to maximize the 4 people they've got in this final.
So it is Riley in first place right now, Strong of Arizona State in second place, Prince of Washington State, or rather of Arizona State, running in third place, and Jennings saving a little bit of ground here, running on the inside. But again, positioning could be a problem. So it's the 2 Stanford runners and the 2 Arizona State runners as we come to the bell lap.
Jennings is in quite a box right now, and he knows it, but Riley starts to drop by on the inside. He actually catches Jennings up a little bit. And watch Jennings, look at this burst of speed. Now he's measuring the athlete in front of him. He knows how much strength he's got with 200 meters to go. And he goes by him on the turn.
Yeah, just blew by him, too. Jennings just kind of biding his time and just blowing by the competition. And making a pretty good run on the outside is his teammate. And that, coming back into the picture, is Donald Sage. So it is Jennings, Sage, and coming up to finish in third place for Stanford is Grant Robison. Stanford finishes 1, 2, 3, 4 in this event, just as they did in the women's event.
And believe me, that was not by accident. That was by design on both the women's and men's side. Vin Lanana, very, very smart, utilizing his people well. It'll be interesting to see how Riley comes back in the 5 and Jennings comes back in
this race. It started out a little bit slow for you, and then you took it over.
Hey, man, little sick. You know, got another one coming, so I told you that cardinal flow would come, didn't I?
You did.
Came like a tidal wave, and I think it's still going to go a little bit higher.
You had a little trouble on the backstretch there on the bell lap. It looked like you got boxed in, and then you finally found a little room to race.
You know, I felt boxed in most of that race, and I kept thinking patience, you know, it's going to open up, and it didn't open up, so I had to open it up for myself. But
you took a little look back at about 30 meters, and you saw the freshman Sage right on your heels.
Yeah, it's hard to miss that cardinal color, man. I love it.
Did you save anything for later?
I got some in my legs. I feel good.
It's always a big meet. Gabe Jennings, one of the biggest stars here, Barry.